take 569. So, as you can see, I now have a massive tank in my room. This is a 55-gallon tank. I have been planning on this for several weeks now, for about 3 weeks since I got Tigger. Tigger is no longer looking as well as he's been. He looks almost like he's reverted back to what I had him at. I don't know if he's going through some serious stress levels because I've been stressing him out the past couple days, getting ready for this tank to go in. Today's been very stressful for him. There were shrimp in his tank, so on and so forth. I'm going to cycle this tank with some shrimp. But I'm going to show you, that's not the point of this video. Today's video is how to set up a fish tank. I already have a filter chilling on the edge of it. Nothing in the filter is set up, but I have some fish tank water and some paper towels. Obviously, if you don't have fish tank water, you can just use regular water, but I'm going to spray the towel. You can also obviously spray the fish tank, and I'm just going to wipe it down with the water. And now I'm going to fill the bottom of this tank up with some pre-washed sand. I do not currently have a video on it, and I don't know if I will make a video. It's very up in the air. I started to make a video last night, and I just didn't like how it turned out. So I'm going to put some of the pre-washed sand in here. So this next clip is going to look super funky, but I'm only hopefully going to put it in if this works, so you'll only be seeing this if what I did works. I'm going to be filling this tank up halfway. Right now there's some muddy water. I threw a singular thing in there, single decoration, but I'm going to fill the tank up about halfway, run the filter, and wait about an hour or two and see if the water clears up. It's coming up pretty muddy, so I'm going to see if the water cleared it. I did clean all the sand. Some of the sand was gifted to me and I was told was already clean and crystal clear. I trusted them. I guess I should have ran it through one more time, made sure for myself, but what can you do? You live and you learn. Alright, so what's going on right now is I'm going to fill the tank up halfway. I'm going to turn the filter on. I'm going to turn it on enough for the filter to kick in, and I'm going to see if some of this darkness diminishes. I think the sand just needs to take a little bit of time to settle. While that's going on, I'm going to be taking some water from the established tanks, so from both Tigger's tank and my beta tank. But Tigger's pretty stressed out right now, so I'm probably just going to take from the beta tank and put it right in here. So like I said, I'm going to run this with the filter. What I'm currently doing is just filling it up with tap water. I have not put any chemicals into it since there's no fish in here, and I don't need to do that. Just tap water, and then I'm going to run the filter. I'm not really going to show that because there's no need. So it's really noisy right now because there's some air bubbles in my filter, but I filled up all the water. It's still a little bit cloudy. We're gonna let it run through. I spoke to a couple other people who said it's just the sand being kicked up. That's why it's cloudy. So I'm adding neutral regulator right now, and I'm literally adding the rest of what's in this bottle because there's not a whole lot. And this is a 55-gallon. Honestly, I should really add more. Normally, as you guys know, I don't normally properly dose this stuff. Just doing a capful. Now I'm adding stress lime. This is 5 milliliters per 10 gallons, so this is getting 2.5 capfuls. Now I'm adding tap water conditioner. I'm gonna put 2 capfuls of this. Wait. I'm going to, I'm gonna do 1 capful for this whole tank. I already added some aquarium salt and I added this stuff. I added a that's really all I've done. I haven't even turned the heater on. The filter is on. The heater will not be put on until I get something that is supposed to come in the mail in a couple days. But I do recommend just putting the heater on the opposite side of where your thermostat is going to go. Right now the sweater is very warm, but yeah. Alright, I am super excited today. I'm like, this is all I've been thinking about all morning. So I just got in a bunch of plants. They are all chilling in this bucket right here. There is quite a bit. So I'm going to show you how to kind of just plant them. I'm going to do a time lapse of it. But I am going to show you how to plant each individual plant first. So this is, I believe it's the spirilla I got. So the first thing you're going to want to do is rinse them. You rinse. So either in the bucket, they're all wet. I just finished rinsing. So this plant has roots, as you can tell. So you're going to kind of find a place you want to put it in the tank and just stick it in. This to me feels more like a background plant. I kind of want to put it over in that corner and one over here. And I'll probably just kind of line everything up in the back to do that. So with the rooted plants, you're just going to stick it in and cover the roots with whatever substrate you have. Now I do have some gravel, which I'm only keeping in this tank because, so I have sand and then I have some of this blue down here, that's gravel. There's a specific fish that I want to get that has a tendency to dig up plants. So they recommend putting a little bit of gravel around said plants so that way they can't dig them up. So that's just what I've kind of been doing. As you can see, I already have one plant in here. This is going to be what I would consider my centerpiece plant because first of all, I really like planted tanks and I really like this specific, I like large leafy plants, especially in tanks. So I decided that that was going to be more of a centerpiece plant and I am just kind of messing with the gravel at this point. So I'm going to plant the rest of the plants that I have that have roots, and I'm going to do that in a time lapse. Okay, so now on to my rootless plants. What Live Aquaria recommends is actually tying them onto the decorations, which I've never done. I typically just kind of stick the stem in the ground, but I am going to try that, and I'm going to try it with some of my Java moss, and I'm going to try and put it on this huge piece of wood here, and see how that goes. They recommend taking everything out of the water, but since this is already in the water, and I'm not going to take it out because the way this is it actually fills with water to force this to stay down. I'm not going to pick it out of the water because that's going to be a major pain. So I'm taking some Java moss that I have and totally soaking my Apple Watch in here. And I'm going to just try to tie this down. And that actually surprisingly did work. So I'm going to try and do that with the rest of them. Some of them I probably will end up just sticking in the ground because I bought quite a few, not realizing they were rootless. So that's the first time I've ever done that, but I'm going to try it and see if I like how it. So I was starting to film a time lapse, and then my father wanted to see what was going on with the tank. So I stopped it, and I didn't really get much footage in it, so you probably won't see any time lapse, but I did just shove them all in. When I was grabbing my father, the plant stuck up from the moss, so if you did want to get a rootless plant, I would recommend fishing line over moss. I really didn't realize that they needed to be tied down, so yeah. The moss was just what I had on hand. Now I have these two bulbs, and again, I didn't realize I was getting bulbs. I thought I was getting a fully grown plant, like what the rest of these are. I don't even remember what these are, period. So I'm going to stick them wherever I can. I didn't realize how much this would look like. How many plants I was getting and how much space they would take up. So I'm just going to kind of, with these, you just stick them in. just like you would a regular plant. So you're just gonna stick it in right here and cover it. And that's all you do. Now the bulbs are probably not going to grow for a while just because there isn't any fish in here. There really aren't any nitrates in this water. So it's going to be a bit more difficult for them to grow currently. But that is fine because I'm hoping within the next week or two I will have plants in here. And there is plant waste all over this tank, but that is fine because it's going to help build up some ammonia in the tank, and I'm trying to get this thing to cycle. Now I'm probably going to stick some more rock moss because I like the look of that moss around some of these tree trunks and just twist them in time. But yeah, that's really all you do to plant a tank. It's pretty self-explanatory, pretty easy. You just kind of need to know where they should be going in the tank and so on and so forth. Alrighty. So I was filming doing another time lapse that ended up not working out. The moss was just not cooperating with me, so I have someone coming to bring me fishing line, hopefully soon, so I can throw some of the Java moss on there. I believe that's what this is called. Sorry, willow moss. So yeah, but I shall now insert we'll do a little time lapse of the final product.